All right. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. Obviously, I know it's a late night, so appreciate that. Appreciate our fans coming out. Obviously, on a holiday weekend, still felt a great atmosphere out there. And next week, we want it again. Next week, we need it again. We want to continue to have a great atmosphere. 21-game win streak, and that's pretty special. That's pretty cool. So it's an amazing place to watch a game, amazing place to coach a game. So the more people we can have out there, let's not just save it, right? Let's not save it for that fourth week in September. Let's come out here now and be able to get everybody next Saturday night. And appreciate all of you. I thought it was a good game. A couple things about a first game. You're going to make some mistakes that you just don't want to see happen over and over. And I don't expect them to. But the snap, the exchange fumble, that was a tough mistake in that situation. We're on the 31-yard line, 2-minute drive, minute and 40 left. Had a chance to at least have a field goal there. Instead, they actually went down and scored a touchdown. So that was a really rough exchange there. We had a false start penalty on a 3rd and 5 on, I think, the 28-yard line. Knocked us back to a 3rd and 10, and then we had a mental error on offense there. So those couple drives were really self-inflicted. Second half, played very clean. So that was good on offense. Defensively, had one rough drive to start the second half, and really wasn't a rough drive. It was a rough 2 plays. It was a 3rd and 19, and then an unbalanced play where they hit the tight end. But other than that, I felt that our team came to play. It was a good first game to get behind us. That's a very good team. I would bet that team wins a lot of games this year. And they won 8 games last year. Coach Norvell does a great job with his football team. And, we had our work cut out for us. We knew that. But I am proud of our guys. I'm really proud of our offensive line. I thought that they did a really, really good job. We ran the ball for, I think, 283 yards. And that's pretty cool. And that tells me that we're getting to where we want to be. We had 500 yards of offense and more runs and more rushing yards and passing yards. And then I would say defensively, that play by Mikkel was a huge play. It's 28-21, and we were kind of going back and forth, and then we wind up stepping in front of a ball, and Mikkel gets a pick. We then kick a field goal, make it 31-21, and then we're able to kind of take control there. So altogether, I thought it was a good game. I'm glad Damon got a win in his first start in the 2025 season. It's also his first win as a starter. So gave him a game ball for that. Had a couple guys that had first ever touchdowns. Cade Eldridge, Adam Muhammad. Excited for those guys. Excited for Devin Hyde's sack. So altogether, it was fun to see the game tonight, and excited for next week.
Tonight was your first night scoring a touchdown on your first possession of the game. Going for it on 4th down, was there ever a question on that? And what did you want to do with that play call?
No, I get the whole scoring a touchdown on the first drive. It's not that easy to do, and, we did it the first drive of the first half and the first drive of the second half. I'm glad we were able to execute. I think our guys are coming. They came out ready to play, which was a good thing, but those circumstances are always different and unique. We were in a situation, it was 4th and 1. I told our guys this week, I told them last night, I told them this morning, like, if we have a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2, we're going to go for it if we can. I don't see us, right now not thinking that we can get it. That doesn't mean that you're always going to just run the ball up the middle from under center. You're going to try to find what's the best way to get a first down. In this case, we felt like the best way was to, slip the halfback out on a little pass. And it was a good play, and it was nice to get Jonah going. And I think that gave us a little bit of momentum there to get into the end zone. And, Jonah had 2 touchdowns.
Touchdown to their tight end. Ephesian looked pretty upset on that. Refs looked a little confused. What happened on that?
They were in an unbalanced formation, and I don't think that they were in a legal formation. So I think that there was only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. So that was, I think, Efi was a little bit, that one guy wasn't supposed to go out. So, but it is what it is. That gets missed. We all miss things. So I think he was just a little confused on the communication.
How did you think Damon process things tonight, just in terms of like feeling pressure, getting rid of the ball, when to take off, those sort of things?
I thought he did a great job on when to take off. I think that, he's a 75% passer again. You're going to complete 75% of your passes. That's pretty impressive. No turnovers, 70 yards rushing, 300 total yards of offense, made all the right checks. He didn't miss a check. So, he's continuing to grow. And I just talked to him about there's some times that maybe we can slide. Maybe we can go out of bounds. We don't need to go head on, in the open field. But other than that, I thought his decision-making was pretty good, right on target.
How do you think Alex McLaughlin played today?
It was good. I thought Alex did a great game. He had a big play on that reverse. That reverse was a huge play. I think it took him from, I think it was a 1st and 10, went to a 2nd and 19. Those are all good when that happens. And then I think it was that drive that might have been McKell's pick. So, Alex did some really good things. He's all over the field. He made a big play at the last drive of a pass breakup. He's a really good football player. I told you guys that he was somebody that I've known since high school and really excited that he's on our team.
What do you want to see more out of your defense? They didn't seem to settle in until about the end of the third quarter, and then they had a couple of big plays.
Yeah, I think that, first of all, we always want to get better in all three phases. We want to be able to continue to protect the ball, take the ball away. So, we only had one takeaway. We want to continue to improve there with our takeaways. There was some really, some long yardage situations that got us a little bit. We had a 4th and 13 they converted, a 3rd and 19 they converted. So a couple of those long yardage situations I'd love to see us get off the field. And then, as always, it's all three phases. So we can't score a touchdown and then kick the ball out of bounds and then give them a shorter field, or, give them a 50-yard return and then ask the defense to make a stop, or, be in a situation where offensively, we're in a 2-minute drive and they kind of think we're about ready to milk the clock down and kick a field goal, and the next thing you know, they're on the field in a sudden change. So we got to be able to be ready for all those situations. I think if we are, we'll put ourselves in a spot that will continue to get better. It's very hard to prepare for a team when you're really, trying to figure out their personnel. So I think each week when we know the opponent better, when we see what their game film looks like, it will also help us settle in a little quicker.
How would you evaluate your special teams? You had some big returns, but like you said, those couple moments weren't.
Yeah, I think we have to be better in all three phases. That's another, that's one of the three phases we need to make sure that we can improve upon. Just like offense and defense, they're a critical part of the game, and we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we let a 50-yard return go. We don't want to we're trying to squib kick down to their 10-yard line, and it gets fielded on the 43-yard line. I thought, we flipped the field the one time we were backed up. We started on the -1 yard line, and they started on the 8-yard line, right? So that's a huge part of it. That was a good punt there, but I thought we, kicked our extra points, well, and field goal well. But altogether, we got to be better in all three phases.
You seem really prepared for.
You talk about Jonah tonight. He just looked like he was running as hard as I've ever seen him run.
Yeah, Jonah's a really, really good back, and he's gotten better and better and better. And so I think that tonight was probably his best night running the football that I've had him for 4 years. And my expectation is that he'll continue to run the football at that level. I don't know if this is the most amount of yards he's ever had. Maybe it is 178 yards. But it was he just was really running the ball exceptionally well, and he's probably mad at me that I gave Cade that one touchdown, but no, I'm kidding. He's not mad ever. That kid is the best teammate in the world. So it was, but Jonah got us all the way down in there, and then Cade slammed it in there for us.
You seem really prepared for that fake field goal. They threw a lot of trick plays at you guys. Did you guys prepare for that during the week?
Yeah, in these games, especially early in the season, you have to be ready for some things happening that maybe you don't necessarily expect to happen later in the season. Especially with a opponent you don't really know as well. Kind of always expect in these type games that we're gonna get. They had the quarterback punt once. They did a fantastic job executing that. They had the double pass that they tried to hit the quarterback down the pipe that we wound up getting some pressure on number 12, and then they had the fake field goal, and then they also had that punt that they lined up in on 4th and 10 and then broke out of it. So there was that was the one you're talking about, I think, the fake punt. So there's a lot of those different things that have occurred that we had to be prepared for, and I thought Coach Petroli did a great job preparing the group.
Expect Amari Evans or Dyson McCutcheon back soon?
Yes, I expect Amari Evans back soon. I'm not sure about Dyson.
Initial thoughts on John Mills' first start?
What's that?
Initial thought on John Mills' first start at left
I
guard?
thought John Mills did a good job. You know, always hard to give you a great answer on a left guard until I watched the film. But it seemed like he did a really good job in there. I felt like he was very comfortable at the line of scrimmage. I mean, when we got him off the ball, when we at the bench, when he came to communicate what was happening, he was really good talking through what he was getting. You know, if this guy was running a stunt, if this guy was pressuring, what the techniques of the D linemen were. So John put us in a good position, and I was excited to have him out there.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you.